Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about how Julius Malema is an evil, vile human being that needs to be arrested for inciting violence. And this time, you didn't think he could get any lower and doing things like this. Well, he got lower today. Okay, he was outside the courthouse because him and one of his right-hand men, last name Losey. Well, Malema and Losey have been on, then the trial's postponed yet again. The trial got postponed for this until July the 3rd. And this happened over 4 years ago. When Winnie Madikizela Mandela passed away. She had a funeral, and members of the EFF went to the funeral. Well, it was alleged that Julius Malema and Losey, they shoved a South African police officer. I believe his name is Johannes Venter. And Malema basically didn't deny doing this when he spoke outside the courthouse. All right, let's put it this way. And then he said, he said the EFF can touch white people if they want to, whether if white people want it or not. He said we can kiss white people, whether if white people want it or not. And kiss the boar is nothing more than just a substitute for kill the boar, because the courts had ruled that it wasn't hate speech, that he could sing it, but instead of kill the boar, he had to say kiss the boar. But it still says get your gun, talking about hurting an Afrikaner. Well, he advocated for people to do that, and he said if white people didn't like it, there was a ship there waiting for them to take them back to Europe. Okay, white South Africans have been in South Africa as long as black South Africans have. The only native South Africans have are the Khoisan. And their ancestors form largely the modern day colored population. Well, the Bantus came from the black South Africans. They were known as the Bantu back then, but to separate them and the Khoisan. Well, so they called the black tribes Bantus. Well, the black tribes from Cameroon came down about when the white settlers came, and not all Afrikaner settlers came from the Netherlands. Some came from France, because they were French Protestants called the Huguenots, escaping religious oppression in France. Some came from Germany. Most of them came from the Netherlands, but not all of them. And then some came from the UK. And he also lied and said that when they went to KwaZulu-Natal, none of the Indian houses were affected by the floods. That flood affected everybody. There was an Indian South African that died when the mosque got flooded. And he was in the mosque doing prayers. He's basically just lying, calling people to touch people and kiss them against their will, which is basically sexual assault. And if you hit somebody against their will, it's called physical assault. He needs to go to jail for that. But he can speak that outside the courthouse and gets nothing, which is just insane and sadistic. He's about as vile, racist, sick, and he's a piss-poor excuse for a human being, regardless of what color he is. And it's not white people he's just calling for. He's bashing Indian South Africans as well. And then he says the black South Africans are just like the Khoisan. No, they're not. When black settlers came down to South Africa, they forcibly took land from the Khoisan just as much, if not more so, than the white settlers did. That's the truth. So anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.